You're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
You are on the punchline.
Holla!
Good show today, I think. I think we got Chris Algieri, former world champion and nutritionist to everyone. Yep. And one of our good friends, great friend of ours too, coming on. Do you remember who?
What's that? Brandon
Krause. Brandon Krause, one of our good friends and one of the top trainers in California, and he's also great at nutrition too. I think we're becoming more of a nutrition type show.
Dude, I just want to go to his gym just because of the name of it.
The Outlaw Boxing.
Hell yeah, that's pretty badass.
I think it's fucking badass. But he's trained everybody, and he's been part of the boxing scene for years.
And he had a hell of a stellar amateur career too.
Yeah, he did. Even around our time. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little before us, the 90s.
Probably a little before me. You got to remember, your ass is old.
Hey! Fuck! What did I do to you?
No, I was just saying.
Why you want to fucking kick me in the balls for?
I'm not.
Yeah,
man.
You did. You just kicked me in the fucking balls, man.
Nah, you're only 4 years.
That's why I can't have nice shit.
What are you? You're 40. Only 4 years ahead of me.
I'm only 41.
4.5 years.
In 2 weeks.
4.5 years.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
What?
4 years and 11 months.
Hey, I'm trying to put this shit on I'm trying to put the show on here on this fucking thing here, and I'm not.
Well, I was set up today, guys, on my Facebook Live, so that way I wasn't fumbling around with my phone.
Let me tell you what was happening, guys. I was at the gym and I cut my, shit short to get here, and I'm dicked up today. It's my fault. Usually I'm the one that's organized. Kelly will tell you that, but you know. The games come first, right? He's
got that fucking pre-workout. It's called Peruvian marching powder.
Yes, I do. It comes in 2 sizes, 8-ball and bigger 8-ball.
Well, Jerry made me a believer when he fought
Ruslan Provodnikov. Oh, so for sure, I agree. You know, guys, we're gonna get our guest out of the way first today, so we can answer your questions. You know who else is gonna call in at the end of the show? Our public relations, Amy, because they were asking questions about what her and Terry got into. So I said, yeah, call in the last 10 minutes of the show and tell us all that ho shit you guys got into.
Ho shit? Oh, you know what? I got something to say about that.
Thank you, Chris. I've been working, man. Working hard.
Hold on 1 second, though.
But yeah, I'm happy to have Chris on. I think I've always been a fan of him. And I think I'm a bigger fan now that he's a nutritionist. I think he's just like the shit that he talks about is just so far advanced to some of these other nutritionists out there. Like he understands body chemistry, not just the food you eat, but the chemistry of how it works.
Why I think that he is such will be such an effect on the sport of boxing for these fighters is because that guy did it at a high level. And competed, and he exactly like what you said. He knows the body of a fighter, a boxer, what they go through, the regimen they go through, and what they'll need.
Yeah.
And you're not going. That's like a sore dick. You can't beat it.
Nope.
You're not going to get better in that.
The thing is, and he's still training with his fighters. He's actually sparring.
Well, yeah, that too. But he knows what to put in. He knows how. He knows if they're going to be hungry. Yeah. Probably a little snack to hold them over, or so they can sleep, or you know what I mean. He knows. He knows how much to have them run. I'm sure. What did he get a degree in? What part of
it was clinical nutrition. He has a master's in my new major that I start on the 18th of this month.
Hopefully soon I'll do that. I just got to find.
I start my first day of class the 18th of May. I'm going to be a freshman, guys, at Arizona State University online. I'm majoring in clinical nutrition myself. I'm going to learn how to be skinny and give advice on at least food. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the fitness stuff, I have pretty good surrounding on that. With my military career and boxing career, it's just time for me to get back to basics. And I call Kelly every day and ask him to help me with this or help me deadlift and shit like that. So I have a good core group. I'll get with Mikey Garcia's people, and I ask Mikey a lot of the times how to do this, how to do that. So I always have a core group. And then a lot of these guys...
No matter if you had fucking 3 master degrees in clinical nutrition and you're a sports and conditioning coach, you never stop learning.
And that's true, Joel. Girls do like fat guys. But I don't want to be so fat where I can't see my cock. You know what I mean? I want to be just under that. But
Joel's nickname is Cheeks.
Cheeks?
Yeah.
But hey, guys, we have a great show today. We're going to get into some Ryan Garcia stuff that's been going on this week, some conversations that we had. We're going to talk about some. We're going to get deep today, I think.
No.
We're going to get deep today, Kelly.
All right.
I don't want to hear no shit. Kelly did sign some autographs for some fans that sent them in.
We did.
Yep, Kelly did. Make sure, guys, if you want an autograph, do us a favor. If you want an autograph, we don't charge, or Kelly doesn't charge for the autographs.
This is how you know you've been retired for 6 years, Jeff. I sign an autograph and my co-host gets paid for it.
I did not get paid. Jeff had sent some shirts in.
That's all right, man.
Jeff Reagan sent some shirts in for Kelly to sign.
And you had me just put my name on it so that way you could get $2.50 out of it.
Well, no. And so he paid for shipping, which is really cool because normally I pay for shipping and it sucks. But he paid for shipping, which is really awesome, and I'll make sure that stuff gets out.
Fuck this shit.
But hey, if you guys want the stuff shared, the only thing Kelly asks is share the show. Share the show, like it, and subscribe. I was gonna get there. Don't be a cock.
He even said balls deep.
Don't be a cock, Justin. I'm not gonna share my 8-ball with you.
James is hollering at all of us today.
I'm not sharing my. He farted. I'm not sharing my 8-ball with Justin.
He's waving. He's
hey, Kelly,
throwing it our way.
Kelly, I took my pre-workout before I got here.
Fucking devil's dandruff.
Devil's dandruff. Peruvian marching powder. No, guys, but subscribe to the show, like it, share it, and if you send something, we'll sign it even at our cost, depending on if it's not going to Europe, we'll do it.
Bear Cavelli's chalk.
You know, Chris, I said the same thing, and I got my ass. I guess they went in on me telling me I didn't understand boxing because I said the same thing, that Ryan has a very upright posture.
I'm joking with you, bud.
And yeah, we're just joking with you, Jeff. But yeah, Kelly did take care of that for you, and thanks, Ricardo. I appreciate it. But I got my ass handed to me yesterday because of that. Well, not handed to me, just a big argument that's not worth getting into. What I'm hearing is this. I said, hey, I made the comment that Ryan Garcia looked like shit. Now, let me say, first of all, we had Ryan on the show about a month ago, okay? And the punchline is not the show where we're going to have somebody on the air and then protect him after that. To keep
Virgil Ortiz, what's up, my man? About time you come back on the show.
Yeah, he did. He said, fuck us. But we're not going to have somebody on the show and then protect them because they came on the show. That's not how we do the show, and that's not how the show's ran. If you want that kind of show, I can give you 20 other shows that will do that. If these guys look like shit, I'm going to tell you they look like fucking shit. I'd rather have 10 guys, 10 people that watch the show that appreciate us for us than 100,000 that don't.
No, and listen, we love Ryan Garcia.
Yep.
I think he's a great kid. I think he's a gifted fighter.
He's good for the sport.
Yeah, but like what James is saying, we're just going to talk about. You don't want to talk about what he did good because then that's not helping nobody. We know what he did good.
What's up, Mac?
You know, he won the fight. He's got great pop. We know that. So we're going to talk about the things that we think could be a problem in the future, but they're all fixable things. And I'm sure at his age that they're going to go back to the drawing board and fix that right away.
My thing is going back to the drawing board with bringing a new team in. For me, that's where I would start with. Because here's the point I made. At 230 amateur fights, tell me if I'm wrong, Kelly. Because, you know, you're the master at this shit. I'm just fucking talking shit. But at 230 amateur fights, okay, and 15 pro fights, these are mistakes that you should not make. These are first-year mistakes. Punching from the chest, keeping your chin up, not crossing your feet on lateral movement. Those are things that we're taught from day one. Into my first 8 fights, hey, keep your chin down. Don't keep your chin straight up in there like a wedding cock. You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't cross your feet. Hey, set your feet and plant your feet when you throw the left hook. Don't jump and throw the left hook.
Yeah, I want to tap on this Joel Albright's thing he said.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you. Yeah, and those are the things that you learn. And don't get me wrong, okay, in golf, if you're Phil Mickelson or Tiger Woods, you still have your golf coach out there at the range with you because you pick up habits, and especially in boxing, that you can't see, and that's what the trainer's job is. The trainer's job is if you're picking your back foot up when you're punching with the right hand, if you're flaring your elbow out when you throw a right hand, you know, just things like that, technical things.
Yeah.
But with somebody, the biggest thing you should realize is when your fighter is raising up, when he's straightening his front leg and bringing that chin and everything in the air, first of all, he's taken away from his power. Second of all, like James said, can you say it again? He's leaving his chin in the air like a
wedding cock, straight up in the air.
And so,
do you remember your wedding cock?
Yeah,
I remember my wedding cock.
That's
Justin,
a very
do you remember your wedding cock?
That's a very true statement. And but those are things where you could simple things to work on that. While he's shadow boxing, put a tennis ball underneath his chin. If it falls out, he knows. So if you keep that in, you get in the habit of that.
Not to interrupt. Do you remember doing that when you were a kid and you would get that rash?
Yeah,
you knew you were doing it.
Yeah,
you knew you were doing that shit right if you had a rash when you left the gym.
Exactly. But real quick before we get, Mike Tyson stated the other day that difference between me is I was a killer and now it's a business. These guys ain't shit nowadays. Okay, I understand that, and there's a little truth to that, Joel. But at the same time, it's called. We just had this argument. It's called prize fighting for a reason, though.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are out there to make money. It's a brutal sport, and if anybody that on the outside of it sits there and says, "Oh, he just is in it for a big payday," fuck
right.
you.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Yeah, and fuck you for saying that. Until you get up and go fucking train 7 hours a day with a fighter and go to the gym. You know what? As a matter of fact, I ain't just saying this ain't at you, Joel. Is that people go fucking just? I want to take the average guy that says that and have him spar 3 days a week. He cannot quit. And if he gets hurt, the sparring partner will give him, the pro fighter will give him a little bit of time and then keep tattooing his ass. And then come Wednesday, that motherfucker wakes up in the morning after a long run and then says, you know what, I got to go spar today. And you're fucking pissed off. You're going to go get your ass whooped again. You have to starve yourself for fucking 2 months. You tell me that it's not about fucking money. You fucking guys, these guys ain't going in it for shits and giggles. Well, that's not the hobby to have.
But I'll tell you this, and I'll be straight up, guys. A lot of these pro fighters out here have these big entourages and these groups of people, and they just they ask and ask for shit. Do you know how guilty I would feel if I was like that, like with a pro fighter? I feel guilty if me and Kelly are out and he pays for dinner because I realize what the fuck he had to go through to make that money. If that makes sense to you guys. I think in my head, I go, look what this motherfucker had to go through to pay for our dinner. And I feel guilty as fuck.
But and like another thing, you're 100% right. Another thing like Joel said, he goes, Tyson said it. And Joel, I know that's what you put down. I know this is not at you. Tyson said it, but let me ask anybody this. When Tyson fought Buster Douglas and walked away with $20 million, would Tyson have fought that fight if they said they're paying him $20?
Nope. Tyson,
right there, I call bullshit on Tyson. He can say that now. Would Tyson have fought Evander Holyfield if they said they're giving him $20,000?
That is Brandon.
Brandon. Cool.
Hey, guys, we got Brandon Krause coming on. So let's welcome Brandon.
Yes.
Hey, Brandon.
How's it going, guys?
Good. You're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez.
I'm honored to be on.
No, we're honored to have you, Brandon.
So how's your day treating you, everybody?
It's treating me good, and I don't know how it's treating Kelly. No one really cares about Kelly's day. They care about wine.
Sucks. I feel like a one-legged cat trying to bury a turd on a frozen pond.
Nice.
So, Brandon, hey, when you come on the show, we're not going to get into the same questions that Ellie asks. We don't do it that way. You've asked and you've been answered all this other shit. You know what I mean? All the same shit. So we're going to try to change it up on you if you don't mind.
Although we do love Ellie.
We do love Ellie. But we're
talking cocaine and hookers, I guess.
Bro, what's wrong with that? The honest truth is I've never tried cocaine, but we always talk about trying it. What? Hey, what's that?
I'm like notorious for doing cocaine, and I never did it. My best friends know that.
I've done enough for both.
Thank you. Yeah. But hey, Brandon, we were just talking about, me and Kelly were just talking about prize fighting. And a lot of these guys, a lot of these fans, they come down on fighters because they're only in it for the money. What do you think about that?
The fans?
Yeah, they come down, this fighter's a pussy because he only fights for the money. Kelly said this is called prize fighting. This isn't a fucking charity.
It's prize fighting. Of course you're fighting for the money. That's your career.
Well, here was the thing, Brandon. The one kid, a buddy of mine, he said that Tyson did an interview the other day and was saying that he was a killer and that the guys today are pussies and they're in it for the money. And I started laughing. I said, well, let me ask Mike Tyson and put him on a lie detector test and ask him, when he fought Evander Holyfield, instead of making $30 million, how about if you offered him $30,000 or $3,000? Would he have taken that fight? Would he have taken a fight with Buster Douglas if they offered him $5,000 or $100,000? And I bet you his fucking be singing a different tune.
my feeling is when green's involved, nobody's yellow. You know, it's all about making money. It's all about setting yourself for the rest of your life. That's what I think the fans don't understand too much is that this is these guys' careers. Are they warriors? Of course they're warriors, but they're paid warriors, and they need to be paid an appropriate sum to go and get in there and do what they do, to put their life on the line.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, the main thing with that, yeah, you're 100% right. It's when you turn pro, you sign that contract, what's in your head is making a shitload of money and then also winning a world title. Those are your two main things that you want to accomplish. Yes, the fame comes with it and you think about it, but you don't understand anything about fame when you first turn pro. Your whole thought is money and world title belts, you know?
Your world is so far from game when you first turn pro.
Yep.
So Brandon, when you opened your gym, which is Outlaw Boxing, which I love the gym, by the way.
Thank you.
Hey, it's one of the best gyms in California. I would have been there, but you never invited me. You know, only that skank Ricky Funes lets me go to his. But when you train a fighter, do you do it for free? Is it you do UNICEF over there? I mean, you know.
No, if the gym needs to keep the doors open somehow. The bills need to get paid, so everybody needs to contribute back some way.
Yeah.
But I won't price a fighter out if that's what you're thinking. But I also can't be running charity to everybody on the block.
Exactly. Yes.
Back.
Also, the question I had for you is a lot of things that you're so good technically in boxing. Your technical skills are really unmatched by a lot of coaches. I mean, you're one of the best. I've watched a lot of videos where you teach and you do these things, and you don't get a lot of credit for it. But one of the most underrated things you are as a nutritionist, which I've really found interesting, is when you break down foods that the fighters eat and things like that. I really find it interesting. Where did you get that experience from?
You know, it's funny. When I first found my way into boxing, I met this great trainer, Teddy Cruz, God bless him, and he was straight out of a movie. You couldn't make the guy up. And he just was what sparked the flame for me and really got me involved in the sport of boxing and wanting to really test myself. And about being in the gym, let's say 3 or 4 years, that puts me at like 15, 16, he would be like, "Hey kid, you run in the gym today." It's like, oh my gosh, dude, this is a great honor. Let me think of what to do. Let me figure out how to do this. And he would always be doing this. Little did I know, he was just too fucked up to run the gym. In hindsight, I found this out, right? But at the time, you know, I was really having to scratch my head and learning how to deal with big groups of adults and get them to work and get things to be productive and to learn how to get my point across.
Yeah.
And I think that's a skill that I was able to really hone well. And then later in life, you know, when I went to college and when I bought the gym myself, that was only allowed me to better do what I had learned as a young teenager.
Yes. There's like you have a lot of fans on here, Brandon. As you know, Damon Martinez is one of our content producers, and he wanted me to ask you this. He's an aspiring trainer himself. How do you tell a fighter he doesn't have what it takes, or he's not really going to make it in the sport? How do you approach something like that?
Oh my God, I've been there, you know, and I've been there with fighters that I've put lots of time and effort in, you know, only to discover that it's not in them. Boxing truly is the everyman sport, but as you guys know, it's not for everybody. And there's levels to this, and
yes,
while, you know, talent can get you so far, maybe in some novice fights, maybe in the first few open division fights, you know, maybe lower level professional, eventually it's going to show itself. So I have find myself in the position to just lay some blunt truth on my fighters. And it's not something that I like, and it's something that I try to put steps ahead of time to not find myself in those positions. But nonetheless, I have been there, and they're heartbreaking moments, you know, because you've really gotten to know these fighters, and you know that they have these dreams, you know, whether or not they're doing what is necessary to achieve the dreams, it's still one of their dreams, and you hate being a dream crusher, you know?
Yeah. You know, Brandon, that's I had thought about that too for a while. In life in general, I'm one of them guys that got a big heart, and I'll rather bypass or say what I got to say not to hurt somebody's feelings. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like doing that. But when it comes to boxing, that's one thing where I will have to tell somebody if I think, say, hey, you know what, this ain't the hobby for you. This ain't a hobby that you want to have. Yeah, I think you have to a point. I mean, I think everybody deserves a right to come into the gym, get in the ring if they want to spar or learn how to box. God bless them. But I think if I was a trainer, which I plan on being, but I think it comes to a point though, after you see a kid fight a couple times and whatnot, a good boxing trainer could tell right away if the kid's going to have potential or not. And that's where I would have to be, brutally honest with my guy and just tell him, hey, how you think I did? I think you should probably go put an application in at McDonald's. I mean, it's one of them sports. It's one of them sports where you have to, though. I mean, like
you cocksucker.
I'm sorry, but I don't want somebody getting hurt.
That it rarely is a talent thing, and it's more of a work ethic thing. It's those fighters that are just not prepared to work and sacrifice enough to make it in the sport.
Very good point. Yeah, and it comes to a even if a kid works hard. Now, definitely I would give the benefit of doubt if I had a kid and I said, you know what, this kid can make it pretty far because he could outwork people and he could make it far. He has just enough skills, and plus with his punch out rate, he could do something. He's got a good chin. But then not like what I'm saying is you could tell when you get a guy in there, and this is very rarely you'll probably get somebody like that, but then you could tell when a guy comes in who just ain't got it. If he could, no matter if he could throw 2,000 punches around, it's kind of like take 2 weeks off to quit.
Man, and you don't get those breaks.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon, you have a couple other questions too. You have a great question from Simon Rublikava. He was a professional fighter himself, and he was my teammate on the Army team, on the Army boxing team. So he wanted to ask you. He said, Brandon, you never turned pro. What was it that turned you to focus on training fighters and end your own career?
Well, 2009, I had enough of USA amateur boxing. I was going to turn pro. I felt like my skill set was there. I had been sparring with nothing but pros and doing well. And so me and my team, we got together with the limited knowledge and resources that we had, and we set out to find opponents. And let me tell you, I didn't have the knowledge that I have now. And you talk about being fed to the wolves. I signed first contract with some amateur standout, one of these 300 fight guys. It was going to be at a lightweight. So I trained hard. I dieted down, and, as both of you know, when my focus was there on fighting, my focus for keeping my apartment tidy or getting my chores done kind of weaned. So, as time went on, all the other things would pile up, but I was getting ready for my professional debut, which is going to be one of the most important things ever. And 3 days before that fight, I got the call that it wasn't going to happen. My opponent was sick. So that all went down the drain. Nonetheless, we searched for another fight. This fight was going to be now 3 months up the road, also at lightweight. And after giving myself a little bit of a break, similar thing, training hard, dieting down, just to have the fight break up about a week through. And then what's unique to California and a couple of other states that I don't know if it's true in Ohio, you have to get some pretty gnarly medical tests. You have to pass them in order to be able to fight. Yeah. So out of pocket, I'm already like $1,400 in the hole.
Yeah.
So that's bringing us halfway through the year. All right, no problem. I got the end of the year. I got the end of my test and all this. Signed another contract, just like a broken record. Trained hard just to have nobody to dance with. Fight ended. Fight was canceled, I think, 3 days before on this time. Oh, and I got to mention that I had been selling tons of tickets and really going out on a limb for my friends and family to keep purchasing these tickets. So this brings us to the end of 2009. No fight, no prospects of a fight, and my gym was going to close. Cliff Raymond, a gentleman who trains fighters out of my gym to this day, and who's a good friend of mine, he had owned the gym, and somewhat of as a pet project, right? He had a 70-hour-a-week job being a CFO of a high-power company, and some guys have Ferraris, and some guys do vacations in the Barbados, and some guys, I guess, own boxing gyms. And that's what Cliff was doing, but it was just becoming too difficult for him, juggling, a major job and the boxing gym. So the gym was going to shutter. I had no fights. I had just graduated college, and I had to really kind of sit down and think, all right, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? I mean, I was a so-so amateur, I had 37 fights. I had 26 wins, right? But I wasn't winning the major national tournaments, and really have no qualm about it, man. I could have got a couple wins as a pro, and God knows what would have happened. But instead, I bought that boxing gym. I think it was the correct move to make. And that's, the rest is history, guys.
Yeah. I mean, and it's worked out for you. Like, to this day, me and Kelly were talking the other day, and, you know, we consider you one of the top trainers in California. And I don't think you get a lot of the respect that some of the other trainers out there get. I think maybe because you're not as loud and you're not as boisterous, a lot of them. But everybody in the sport, in the know, it seems like they all have respect for you. Guys like Rudy Hernandez and Joe Goosen, and, you know, Robert Garcia, they're always saying good things about you.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, those guys are all mentors of mine, and I appreciate that coming from you guys. And I'm just working hard. And you know what? I'm a young guy, and I just need those opportunities.
And you know they're coming.
I had a question for you, Brandon. Where'd you get the name out? How did you get the name Outlaws for a gym? That's badass.
Funny you bring that up. So, like I said earlier, I was training with Teddy Grote, and it was originally. Well, let me even rewind. Before we had the gym, we were renting places out of dojos. We were training in his backyard, and it was just kind of outgrowing that. And when I started fighting, we decided that we needed a legitimate brick-and-mortar gym. So he originally opened what was called Teddy G's Boxing at the time. And like I said, Teddy was a character, and the gym, it was like a roller coaster, man. You didn't know what kind of Teddy you were going to get. And after 10 years or so, I think Teddy, he had to do something about his demons, and he sold the gym, and that started the process of the gym kind of falling into a few different people's hands. And one of the first guys' hands that it fell into was this big country boy named Matt. And Matt is one of these, 6'5", 250 white guys with long blonde hair who wears T-shirts of Geronimo, who's got a dream catcher tattoo on his arm. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love those shirts. I tried to buy Kelly one with a wolf on it.
Like
I want one. I like dream catchers.
I'm trying to make Kelly wear one with a wolf or a deer on it. You know what I mean?
Nice. I can dig it.
Dude, that's the way to go. You know, with the Indian chief on there and a wolf howling, you know.
I want my name to be Three Dog Fucking.
So this guy's dream was to make some sort of clubhouse or some shit at the gym.
Yeah.
And he started bringing in pinball machines and card tables.
What the fuck?
And he changed the name from Teddy G's Boxing to Outlaws Boxing.
Okay.
And I think a funny kind of side note is to it. I fucking hate the name. I hate it. I feel like it's a boat. You just can't rename this shit.
Yeah. Ryan Mesa wanted me to tell you that Brandon Dempsey says, "What's up?"
Oh, my good friend.
Yep. And Roger Romo, my little bro, and one of Kelly's best friends, brother Fernando Vargas, want to say much respect, Brandon.
Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you who else, Brandon. You know Saban Mayfield?
Yes.
Yeah, he sent me a message today saying how cool it was that you were coming on the show.
Oh, too cool. Another good guy, man. He said he was doing some work with a cool documentary of yours.
Yeah. He was still
a 30 for 30 that's supposed to be in the making, right?
Yeah, they're working on that.
I'm interested to see it, show.
Thank you.
I told them they can't do the show unless I can be in there talking shit about Kelly.
Get James on. I'll tell some secrets.
Hey,
I was involved in a 30 for 30 when I was training Nia. They did a expose on here over at Outlaws.
Really?
Oh, okay.
That's how was it? How was the production on that? Was it pretty classy, or were they always digging for drama?
No, there were class acts. Every episode is kind of broken up into a different genre. Hers was about mental health, because you guys have heard the story of her son and all that terrible things associated with that. So they were cool. They were total class acts.
Yeah, I love Mia. I think she's such a wonderful person. I tell you what, I saw her at the Triple G and Willie Monroe fight, and she came up and rubbed my chest, said, "Oh my God," and I didn't want to wash my chest for about a month.
I bet your pink thing came up.
Oh, my pink thing was fucking bulging.
Hey, talk about somebody who doesn't get the respect they deserve. She was just painted as a total, just kind of former pinup girl that never did anything. But name a top female boxer, and you won't see Mia St. John's name on her damn record.
Yeah, I mean, she fought everybody. She fought everybody that you could fight, and she didn't complain. Win or lose, you never heard her complain, or there wasn't a lot of drama attached to her. I think she earned everything she got.
you're not going to get any complaint from me.
No, I mean.
Me either.
And another thing, Brandon, with your social media, how do people connect with you and how do they get in touch with you?
I have Coach Brandon Krause on Instagram, Outlaws Boxing on Facebook. I try to keep my personal Facebook personal, so if you really need me, go ahead and send me a request. If not, get at me on that IG. Guys, I'm trying to master this whole social media thing. I'm just a little too old school, but I'm getting better.
So you do not want us to post your phone number on the...
Avoid that one, please.
All right, I'll do that for you. Hey, are we on your personal Facebook page or are we on your team page?
You're on both.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Up top,
Yeah,
right here,
right.
up
So
top.
you made-
Woo!
I saw that I made the cut, so I was very
Oh
honored.
no, we made the cut. I mean, shit.
Yeah, you got to throw your 2 cents in too.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? It means a lot when you answer on my page because my page is full of a lot of fuckery, you know. So I'm happy with that.
Oh, I love it, man.
I appreciate it. And you know, Kelly caused a lot of fuckery too, so I'm surprised that.
Listen, Brandon, James, I can see why he has a lot of fuckery on his page because he seeks arguments and fights.
I do not.
On every other fucking boxing group.
I do not.
It's war.
I
state my opinion, and my opinion is not like. But if somebody looks like shit, I'm gonna tell them they look like shit.
I see James Dominguez mentioned your name. I'll go fuck.
And this whole social media thing and these trolls, it's something else.
Right?
It is. It's horrible.
It is.
Everybody's got a voice nowadays.
You know, the other week there was a post by a group. I don't even know the group. They said, "Where's Kelly Pavlik now?" And people he's in California sweeping a Florida gym. Like people are honestly making shit up. And or what else were you doing? You were working at a gas station, running a gas station. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, the demise of Kelly Pavlik has been greatly exaggerated.
Well,
yeah, I'm hanging out with Michael Vick, killing pit bulls and shit.
But you haven't punched a time card in 5 or 6 years.
No.
But I don't know.
What's the story, Chief? You get the gym open?
Oh, I own a gym now. That's actually where we're at doing a show. I own a fitness gym. Of course this, and then eventually, I wanted to by the end of summer, but by sometime next year, I want to have a boxing gym. I'm going to keep it here in Youngstown, and that's my sport. That's what I've done, and when I retired, I wasn't going to become a doctor, so it's boxing.
I doubt anybody could do it better.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
And,
I take that as a compliment, big time.
We would love to
So how's the powerlifting been going?
It's going. Me being me, after the type of career I had and how I trained and the beating up the body for all them years, I get out of boxing and I go do powerlifting, another one to beat the body up some more. So
that's true. And I'm teaching Kelly everything I know about powerlifting, so it's working out.
No, and Kelly, your height was kind of freakish for middleweight. I guess it's got to be kind of freakish for powerlifting also.
Yeah, it's coming along. I mean, shit, I'm up to 230 now. I'm benching up in the mid 300s and just starting. I'm only a little over a year into it, but it's fun.
You wear one of those bench suits when you do it?
No, that's cheating. That's worse.
Okay.
That's fucking worse than somebody taking steroids.
Wearing that shirt.
I seen that. 'Cause I asked my strength coach Lonnie about that, and I guess that adds on like 35 to 40 pounds to your bench, if not more.
Well, shit, I could bench 180 with that thing on.
Yeah. So
how about the competition technique where you have your butt off the bench tremendously?
Your dick touching the bar?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
On that, Brandon. Actually, that's the thing. That's okay. Yeah, they do that, but they have it down to a science. Where they still keep their ass on the bench, but yeah, they drive with their legs. Me, I'm flat, man. I'm on there. I got no leg drive, and we're going to start eventually working on that. Because that will add, a good 25 pounds to your bench quickly. And right now I'm in the part where I don't want to fuck around with it because I'm doing good where I'm at. But that's something important though. Yeah, that definitely benefits to learn that leg drive without, but they're real strict in that. I mean, if your ass is a hair off that bench, they'll call you on it. So
yeah.
So when you were fighting, how big of a part was strength training to your training camp?
You know what, Brandon, that's a great question. I know for a fact, I can remember when I started training, I did a lot of that natural strength, the pushing a truck around the parking lot. I actually took the tire and started hitting it. I took a car tire, though, and I started hitting it with the sledgehammer up at a school behind my house. Then like a year, they showed that on Sports Time Ohio and HBO. That was for the Miranda fight. Next thing I know, I just see a big thing all over UFC fighting and boxing. Everybody hitting tractor tires with the sledgehammers and shit like that. But I know I was, I'd never seen that, and it wasn't really big until after my fight, I started seeing all that shit. And but that's what I did. I did a lot of the natural, where I wasn't building too much muscle, but I was getting that. I don't know the term you look for to call that type of strength training, but.
Calisthenics, I guess you would say, using your body weight.
Yeah, there's something else. Yeah, but like the pull-ups from fire. Plyometrics, yeah. But that where you do like the free weight, like the awkward weight type stuff. So.
And did you find it being difficult to keep your muscle mass down? Did you find that hypertrophy was always kind of sneaking its way into your shit?
No, that's why we did it, because that was the best way to get the strength training without, when you start doing heavy weightlifting and you're doing the repetitions and isolating that muscle, that's where you start building the mass and it becomes hard and you start tightening up. Doing it the way I was doing it, you're not bulking up, but you're just getting strong. But I did do a little bit of weightlifting also, but that was very light weights, and we did up, maybe 250 to 300, sometimes 400 reps a body part. And that was the muscle endurance, and I think it truly did pay off. I mean, for my size, I would imagine I got to be at least close to the top 10 in most punches averaged around for a middleweight fighter.
80 something, right?
Yeah, high 80s.
86 per round, I think.
Yeah, so.
Kelly was 86 per round, I think, on the last. I think you were third.
Yeah, my conditioning was superb.
You fall behind Triple G and somebody else. Triple G had the highest number.
I don't know. I've never seen Triple G throw more.
Sergio threw more than you did, too. He was smaller.
Yeah, but I bet Triple G's numbers are a little askew because he doesn't have as much firepower coming back at him.
That is so true.
Yeah.
But I think Kelly ranks in the top 3 in most categories in knockouts too, right? You were third in knockout percentage in history in middleweight division.
Yeah.
You fall under Triple G and Gerald McClellan.
Gerald McClellan. That was a hard ass dude who could fight. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with it. It's it's something more just fun, something to keep me a little more busy than I was, and it's being in a gym. That I was in a gym no matter what kind of gym my entire life, pretty much. So
well, that's kind of that's an underrated aspect of training that I try to get off to my fighters and that I try to explain to other trainers is that okay, I'm going to take a young man or a young woman and I'm going to keep them in my little 20 by 20 box for the next 10 years. I got to figure out ways for this to be fun and challenging, for things to be different, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Things that you have to master. I don't want this to be torture. I don't want this to be pulling teeth, which is the opinion of some trainers, which is super confusing.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Some guys, I'll tell you, a very good friend of ours, Rudy Hernandez, is against this strength and conditioning part of it. I disagree. He mentioned of a fight where his guy won by doing, shadow boxing more. And I understand that. I do think some guys get a little too sidetracked with the strength and conditioning training part of it. But me personally, I think that's very, very important. First of all, like you said, it breaks up the monotony of being in a gym constantly. Second, you're sculpting your body to be a machine. You know what I mean? To be strong all around. And I even like the fact of I did a lot of cross training. Become even more of an athlete than what you already are. Get quick, get the small twitch muscles moving, just all around. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things that come into play while you're training, and it's fun doing that cross training. Get a pickup basketball game, depending on how close to a fight. God forbid you don't need anybody poked in the eye or rolled ankle.
Yeah, rolled ankle. Yeah.
But tennis, which is very good for the agility and side to side, things like that, and it's fun for the fighter too. It breaks up being in a ring, and it's the competitive side of it where they're having fun.
And an aspect I think that these old school traders don't understand is, I'm in agreement that punching improves by practicing punching, boxing improves by practicing boxing. The strength training, what that's going to help you do is have more rounds. Boxing training, your more fit body they're going to handle the rigors of tough fucking boxing training camp.
Yep.
Of rounds of sparring, of rounds of bags, of rounds of heavy bags. You'll be able to get through more of those and make those more productive by adding the strength and conditioning.
Yeah, and I 100% now, but I think another one too that I would like to actually, when I start training guys, would be working on the right recovery program for them too. I think that's every bit as important. You know, they got so many things out now for guys to recover and to heal up, and I think that's also very important for a fighter.
Oh, champ, my philosophy is that it's a trifecta. You know, at the top you have the training. On one of the corners you have nutrition. The other corner is rest and recovery. And all three of those have to be perfect. One can't be any stronger or weaker than the other and expect success.
Very true. Very true. But
so what about this big fight coming up, guys?
I think it's gonna be a great fight. I got Lomachenko pulling it out at the end, but I think Linares is gonna give him hell the first part of the fight.
I'm not commenting on it. I'm gonna just go ahead and say that it should be a good fight, but who knows with Loma and how good he is. So
you know, you said a mouthful there because I think everybody's going on the aspects of just what we expect Loma to do because he hasn't really proved a heck of a lot yet.
Yeah.
True.
And Linares, you know, it's like he should be the star that he's not, and he almost needs this time to pop, you know?
Yep. No, we got you.
I wonder if he can get through 12 rounds without getting sliced up, though.
I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be Linares cuts. I think what's going to happen is I think if Lomachenko lets off like he did against Mariaga, I think he's going to be in for a harder night than he thinks.
Well, he's definitely not blowing out or making Linares sit it out. I don't think so.
No.
But it was great having you on, Brandon, and we really appreciate your time, and we would love to have you on as much as you want to come on and talk boxing with us because you know I think you're one of the unheralded guys with information that I think the people that watch the show would love to hear.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I appreciate it. It's such an honor to be on here, guys, and just much success with the show.
I'll get you back on. We can shoot the shit some more on different things, though. That's the fun part.
And anytime you guys have the misfortune of being in the San Fernando Valley, feel free to step into LA.
Oh, we're going to be there later in the year. We're going to be out in LA, so you know we're going to stop.
Hell yeah.
Well, the doors are open, guys.
Oh, thank you.
We might need a place to sleep, so we'll sleep in your gym.
Yeah. All right, Brandon, thanks.
Guys.
It was great having you on. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, guys. We had Brandon Krause. The interview went a little bit longer, but that was great.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna go ahead and get to your guys' questions. We're gonna bring Chris Algieri on right now.
Yes.
Since we ran over, but we'll get to everybody's questions. I promise. And just tell them we ran.
Hello?
Is that a fax machine?
Whoever it was answered, though.
Oh. Mac, the flotation device. I've used the flotation gloves that were like flotation gloves before. Okay.
Hold on, guys. We're trying to see what's happening here.
Well,
I don't know.
He'll call back.
You want to try his phone?
Yeah, hit something weird, but this is a YouTube shout out. Kelly, Brandon, Angelo Costas wants a shout out if you could.
Hey, Angelo, what's going on, man? Thanks for tuning in.
And thank you for the support for me going back to school. It's time to get that second degree in, which I'm really happy about because I can't do shit with a history degree. Also, Angelo wants to know, hey, fellas, what did you think about the Tony Bellew's boxing ability and his performance with David Haye this past weekend? Oh, I think he looked great. I mean, I think, but I also think David Haye is way past his prime, so we'll know more later on. But I think he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, and I'm texting our guest.
Chris, we ran late, so it's our own fault because Brandon's such an interesting guy, and sometimes that happens. But, yeah, so I mean, we've had a great week of boxing, and I'm really looking forward to the fights next week too.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, Chris. We're sorry about that. You're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez, and we had our guest on, and he ran over a little bit.
Yeah, no sweat. All good.
So,
how you doing, champ?
I'm doing great, James. Nice to be on here and meet you guys, man.
No, it's an honor to have you on.
definitely.
You guys are fucking hilarious. I really enjoy what you're doing out there.
Thank you. We try, and but we've been trying to get you on the show for about 6 months now, believe it or not, and it's hard to track you down.
And you got to be kind of funny when I got to sit next to this pug nuts all day long. So, yeah, but
with what you do, you get a lot of the same questions asked a lot, Chris, and I think me and Kelly, we want to take a different approach and just not ask the same shit over and over again that you're used to being asked.
Yep.
So we're going to change it up a little bit. A lot of people want to know what got you into boxing. Where you started at.
But I am going to ask about the nutrition.
Oh, I know you are. I knew you were going to ask about nutrition.
That's awesome as hell. So.
Oh, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, but go ahead, James.
Honestly, it's the first sport I ever remember watching. My grandfather's from Argentina, and for down there, boxing is huge.
Yeah.
So he was every fight that was on TV, ESPN. Back then they had Tuesday night fights, Friday night fights, HBO, anything that was on, we watched. I just remember sitting on his lap watching boxing and him talking about the great champions of the past.
Wow. And who were some of the fighters that you consider yourself a big fan of growing up?
So specifically, I used to hear a lot about Alexis Arguello. My grandfather loved him. Guy was a killer. And then it was the '90s. It was the era of Oscar De La Hoya and Mike Tyson. And then Roy Jones. My grandfather loved Roy Jones. So those are the guys that I grew up watching and hearing about. Sugar Ray Leonard's another guy my grandfather really liked and would talk about all the time. And really, I just watched anything that could be. I got a wall full of VHS tapes from every Friday night fight that was on ESPN.
Yeah, and Chris, I wanted to ask too. Maybe if you want to know, what got you? What really turned you into turning pro? I mean, was it the amateurs? How was your amateur record? The background of that?
So funny story there. I have 0 amateur boxing fights.
Wow.
I did not
he
know
did
that.
kickboxing.
That's right.
Yeah. So I was a professional kickboxer. I was always good with my hands, and a lot of boxing coaches. So when I was a world-class kickboxer, I was 19, 20 years old. I was from Long Island. I didn't have a lot. There was no money in the sport, so I couldn't really travel.
Yeah.
So when I had to spar, I was just sparring with boxers. I would just not kick, and I would just use my hands. And I remember a lot of the coaches. I'd go to Gleason's gym in Brooklyn and spar with all the pros there. And a lot of the coaches would be like, man, for a kickboxer, you really, you got some hands. You got a lot of boxer in you. And so I kind of planted the seed in my head, and it's something I always wanted to do, but I was always told it really wasn't feasible.
Wow.
But then I'd won 2 world titles in kickboxing. I had literally fought everybody in the weight class below me, the weight class above me. I was undefeated world champion in 2 different weight classes and fought everybody. There was no fucking money to be made at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I doing here? I'm 23, 24 years old. I'm getting injured. And I'm making nothing. I got nice shiny belts, but that's cool. I mean, I could be making a lot more money doing, what I love to do anyway.
Yeah. And
I don't know where my head was at on that one.
Oh, yeah, well, you remember that. I did sometime. But a lot of times people don't realize, like we were talking about the other day, that I think that you became, and I'm not just saying because you're on the show, we've talked about it before you're on the show, that I think you became the probably the most eminent nutritionist in the sport. And Kelly was talking about it before the show, that you actually box, so you were more aware of the fighters' bodies than most nutritionists out there. You understand what it takes to make weight and to stay strong, which a lot of them don't. A lot of them are just speaking out of their ass because they've never done it, which I think puts you at a higher advantage than anybody else out there.
Yeah, the advantage that a fighter would have with having you in the camp, especially, again, like I said, at that high level, and knowing what their body's going through, and probably at what stages throughout training camp that they need more of this or probably cut back on something else. Has that really been a reason why also that you got involved in it?
Absolutely. I mean, I was actually helping a lot of fighters throughout my own career as well. And it really just became much more a bigger thing once, I wasn't active in the ring myself. The work with Danny Jacobs really kind of brought everything to the forefront as it got a lot of coverage with HBO. And you're absolutely right, Kelly. I listened to the opening you guys are saying, and like knowing I'm watching my guy. You know, I know what he's going through. I'm working out next to him. I know how hard that workout was. I know what his week looks like, and I'm looking at him. I know the change in him that day. You know, I got asked recently if I like to check my fighter's weight a lot. I don't need to. I see my guy every damn day.
Wow.
You know, I can see where his body weight's out by eyeing him. Yeah. I can see that he looks a little drained. He looks maybe a little dehydrated. Maybe he needs more carbs. You know, maybe, you know, I see him in between sessions. He hits me up. Every time we talk, it's like, hey, man, how you feeling? Feeling a little sluggish, this and that. I know these things looking at my athlete, you know, communicating with my athlete, and I adjust the eating pattern for that day on the fly.
So are you setting their diet a week out or a month out? Or do you know exactly what they're eating every day, or do you just kind of go on the fly based on their nutritional needs and how they're feeling?
If I'm full time with the guy, like the way that I work with Jacob, that I've worked with Sullivan Barrera in the past,
yeah.
You know, I'm there, and I'm looking for the freshest food possible. So I never know in advance what's going to be available, what's going to be the highest nutrition content, and then I'm basing it off of a couple different factors: what they're weighing at the time, how far they out from the fight night, what they have in terms of the training session the next day. Is it a sparring day? Is it a strength conditioning day? Is it a long cardio day? Is it an off day? You know, so that all can change what their daily intake is going to look like.
Okay. Have you ever thought about writing a book, honestly, for fighters, like nutrition for fighters? Because
all combat, UFC,
for all combat, because you would make more than you ever did in the ring.
Yeah, no, that's definitely been a plan.
We get a kickback from that, Chris. I mean, that's kind of the punchline threw that out there.
Yeah, we were talking percentages, right? But right back to boxing, man. Shit.
Yeah.
A quarter of a cent. No, I mean, I just think I think that you would set a standard for other people to follow, because I mean, there's so many hacks in the sport that are hurting fighters with bullshit advice, you know. And these fighters are coming in drained, and they're coming in weak. They're pissing blood before the weigh-in. I mean. And
you're seeing it more and more too. You're getting main events that are getting canceled, especially in the UFC, where guys are not making weight.
Exactly.
You know, they get hurt. They get hurt. They're hurting themselves to make the weight and can't even get to the scale.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, you're right. You know, there's a lot of you know, and you've seen that in other aspects of the sport too. You got a guy who throws a towel over his shoulder, and now he's a cornerman. You know, it sucks, but you know, you got guys out there who are fighting for their lives.
I thought that's what cornerman's jobs were. You know, just pretty much hand a spit bucket and run and grab food if you need it.
That's the cornerman you were used to.
Oh, fuck.
Until you hired Robert, that's what you were used to.
Yeah, shit. All right. Well, you know, Chris, I could have used you in 2009, 2010 too. So
yeah, man, I was in camp with you actually at Robert Garcia's boxing academy in 2011 or 12 or so. You were the biggest fucking middleweight I've ever seen.
You know what? You were just talking about that. You remember him being in camp with you?
Yeah, I remember. Well, we have a picture together, and I don't remember taking a picture because
you take that.
Yeah, but I remember meeting you there. And but for that Martinez fight, man, that would have been nice. I think I did everything but die to make that weight.
Yeah, we spoke about that. You told me that was like the worst lead up to a fight that you ever had.
Yeah, by far.
And
Chris, but I mean, every fighter has that story though. Every fighter dealt with this before. You know, so having a qualified nutritionist on staff has got to be part of the team now. You know, with how aggressive guys are making weight now, and the higher the level you go, Kelly, you can attest to this. The higher the level you are, the more aggressive guys are willing to push the limit to make the weight. More money involved. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. And hey, Chris, you have some questions. You have a lot of fans here. They all love you. Steve Casper from Worldwide Boxing. He's one of your paisans from New York. He wants to know: are you preparing food for the fighters? We talked about that. Are you doing the actual preparing of the foods?
Yeah. So I'm a professional nutritionist, but I'm an amateur chef. You know, I get kind of thought of a lot as being, he's a chef, or he's a cook, whatever. Like, I'm not. I just enjoy it. I like it. I came from a culture where cooking was a big deal, and it's kind of become a hobby of mine. And it's allowing me to actually prepare the foods themselves with the athlete, which makes my job easier because I know exactly what's going into their bodies, exactly what's fueling them and helping them recover.
Yeah, I mean, and it is. It's a huge responsibility, and it's something I know that you really love doing. I've seen a lot of the videos. I'm like, man, this guy's really passionate.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. It's an amazing thing to see, and it's uplifting for the sport in itself.
And not being funny, I love cooking. I honestly, since probably the last 20 years, I love cooking. But you're not going to see me get all stoked about going to fucking cook some peppers and fucking spinach, greens. If I'm cooking spinach, I'm dousing a shitload of olive oil in there and garlic and soy sauce and everything else.
Throw some peppers in there.
Yeah.
You know what actually really got me into it? Like during my own training camps, it helps me relax. So I can kind of forget about how hard the training was that day, and I can kind of focus on what's in front of me, kind of think ahead about what I'm doing meal prep-wise. Kelly, I'm sure you know, man, at the highest level, there's a lot of fucking pulls between the media and, this guy and that guy and your team. That stuff can really bog you down during camp. So for me, cooking was my way to kind of escape that.
Yeah, and you know what, Chris? But fortunate for that, I still had people at home to, watch over and cook for me when I was, in between. But even now I see that, and I'm not doing nothing. I'm powerlifting, and I'm trying to lose some weight, but where I still keep strong. And there's certain diets that I'm going on, and it's just like almost impossible to stick to them. James, you could attest, where we got to go to New York for Chef Santos, or we going to cover this fight.
We're going to be there next week, ruining it ourselves.
Yeah, and I don't got the prep. I'm not going to carry 4 things of Tupperware with me. And and then once I cross the state line, that's my vacation / cheat day.
That's 5 minutes away before Pennsylvania. We're already on cheat day.
And I already got a cheat day planned.
Hey, we were in New York 2 weeks ago. We took in 20,000 calories in 2 days, in a day and a half. 20,000 calories.
Yeah.
each.
So then my excuse is I starved myself almost my entire life, and now I'm powerlifting. So I always got a way to eat something I shouldn't be eating.
Hey, Chris, you have a great question too by Chris Carbajal. He wants to know, compare the difference between getting punched opposed to getting kicked.
Great question. Getting kicked by a world-class kickboxer is like getting hit by a car.
Oh my God!
It's like it's literally like a mini car accident every single time. If you check it the wrong way and you block it the wrong way, if you take the full brunt of the kick, they will bust right through your forearm, no problem. A real kickboxer, a guy who really knows how to kick, a world-class kicker, he will pick right through every bone in your body if you don't block and protect. If you don't protect yourself properly.
I agree. I worked with Matt Brown for a few years on his stand-up from UFC, and one time we were messing around. He kicked me in the head when I was holding mitts. And he didn't even hit me, kick that hard. I thought I was going to die. Like, everything went black for a second. I was like, oh, my God.
Oh, man. I got so many head kick knockouts in my kickboxing career. I learned at a young age. I was 18 years old, knocking guys' heads off with kicks. Wow. And being like, wow, this is really easy to do. It does not take much.
Wow. What is your thoughts about next week for Lomachenko Linares? I know you're a big fan still, and I know you follow the sport close.
Yep.
Where are you leaning on that?
I like both guys a lot. Specifically, I really like Linares' style in terms of being a true boxer puncher and a great counter puncher. Lomachenko, he's such a phenom. What he does, you can't replicate that. And to prepare for a guy like that is so difficult. And momentum is a huge part of the sport. And I just feel like Lomo is really got the momentum right now. He really feels his abilities and his style. I think he's going to go out there and he's going to. It'll be iffy early, but I see him dominating down the stretch.
I agree with that perfectly. If you were fighting Lomachenko, what would you do? How would you fight him? What would be your strategy?
Honestly, a guy like that, you got to fight like Kelly Pavlik, long and strong.
That's right.
He's it.
So I knew I liked you. I knew I always liked you.
Honestly, the guy who's going to be cutting all these angles, but those angles mean nothing at the end of a punch.
That's true.
So if you can keep that length and keep those angles from where you can actually see everything in front of you, stay nice and long, use that jab. A lot of timing is going to be really important, kind of offset his rhythm, and little cutting footwork in and out to kind of make sure the guy is staying on that outside. Yeah. But long and strong wins that fight.
I agree. Good friend of ours, Roger Romo, he works in the Lomachenko camp, and he was telling us, I don't know if you agree or not, But he said the main problem of the fighters fighting Lomachenko is not getting punched. It's the pressure he puts on you without punching you. Yeah. He's walking you down and doing things. He's making you think.
The constant flinching and expecting a punch
is
to
wearing
come.
your body down.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with that, but mentally it drains them before he even throws a punch.
1,000% I agree with that. You can be a pressure fighter without throwing a lot of punches.
And you know, you did the same thing.
I said myself was like that when I fought Provodnikov. I said it before the fight, and everybody looked like I was crazy.
No, oh my God. I literally just said that just now. Yeah. You fought the same way. You'd pressure them without throwing a punch.
I've had so many sparring partners and fighters say to me after, like, man, like, you got me thinking so much that I was exhausted. And I was tired of dealing with so many movements and so many different things coming at me. Like, I had to be so aware. So I agree that Lomo's pressure, although he's not a volume puncher, is definitely an aspect that gives guys trouble.
You know how I look at it too, Chris? I mean, I break it down from this point. I did a lot of research on it, especially now with lifting and stuff like that. Lomo is one of them gifted, very fast and agile athletes. The small twitch muscle, you notice, and he's quick. He's quick that way. Now, in other sports, those are usually your sprinters and guys like that, or guys that can jump high, but their endurance is not really made for a long term. But then you get the guys, obviously, like a Lomachenko, where you could fix that, where you could actually get both with the right training regimen. I see the problem of being this. He is so gifted naturally in that field with the small twitch muscle and being that quick, that the other fighter, not only what you guys are saying, even when he's not punching, they're using their small twitch and then their main muscle, their big muscle, to try to keep up with him, constantly spinning, constantly turning, and wondering when the next punch is coming. And that right there, not only physically but mentally, drains a fighter, you know.
He's depleting both their fuel systems. He's depleting that fast twitch. He's depleting that endurance, exactly. And then he's also psychologically breaking them down. So, I agree with that.
Chris, you have a lot of questions here, and you have a lot of fans. I'm not going to go through all of them because we'd be here all night. But there is Melissa DeValentine. She's the CEO of Heroes Boxing. She wants to know, what are the best nutritional tips for vegetarians, especially getting enough protein?
Yeah, so that's really the big thing when it comes to vegetarians. Now, we talk about vegetarian like day-to-day people. We talk about people who are training and athletic. The protein needs are very, very different.
Day-to-day. So day-to-day people, just your average.
Right, day-to-day people. So where the protein needs aren't going to be quite as high, but you still got to be thinking about what your protein needs are. Just try and make sure that you're getting protein in each and every meal. So your vegetable sources of protein. Now, there's a lot of different vegetarians out there. You got, pescatarians, lacto, dairy, there's a lot of other ways. So, like, if you still eat eggs, you can still get great protein. And most of the vegetarians I know still do eat eggs, and you're able to get a great protein source there. If you're allowing yourself to eat fish, that's another great protein source. If you're a full-on vegetarian, you really got to focus on your grains like quinoa. Even oatmeal has a little bit of protein in it. Beans are going to be an important source. Tofu, soybeans, things like that are going to be important for the full-on vegetarian.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, real quick too, is that the best source of protein that actually fully converts, or is it fish?
So in terms of from the nutrition world, the egg is the gold standard in protein because of the amino acid content. Mm-hmm. So they consider an egg to be like a score of 100 out of 100.
Wow.
And there's varying levels of quality of the protein based on the amino acid profile of that said protein.
Yeah. No. And Matt Tyson wants to know, is there such thing as being a vegan 6 to 7 days a week?
It depends who you ask. If you ask another vegan, hell no. If you ask me, sure. I mean, veganism is not a religion. It's an eating pattern. And so if you're quote unquote cheating, then there's no problem with that. It's probably healthier for you, to tell you the truth, because you're missing out on a lot of really, really important micronutrients if you're a full vegan.
What's your opinion on intermittent fasting?
For day-to-day people, I think it's actually fantastic. I use it with my normal clients all the time. Most people are just not that active. They don't need to eat that much. They don't need to properly fuel throughout the day like an athlete who's training 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah, but for regular people, it's great, right?
It's great, fantastic. I actually love it for regular people.
Fucking James just bumped me in the arm like I was wrong. I said, you know, he would try to get me on it. I said, you know what? For me, being a powerlifter, or I don't think it's good for boxers or athletes. I don't think that they should go on an intermittent diet.
I agree with that. No athlete should. No athletes and people who are trained, like I said, if you're training multiple times a week or especially multiple times a day, like boxers do, and at a powerlifter, you need to take in so many damn calories in order to improve your strength, to get bigger and stronger, and to recover. That's the biggest thing with powerlifting. Is recovery.
I'm debunking that myth for powerlifters right now, because I've lost weight doing this diet, and I actually hit some PRs. But I don't know how long that's going to last.
Well, you know, Mikey Garcia said he does intermittent fasting in between fights because it helps him keep his weight regulated. Because before he was 20, 30 pounds above his weight, but now he's
a good idea.
But now he's about 7 or 8 pounds now from his fighting weight.
That's a great idea. I think it's cool to see athletes who are really staying focused on a dietary eating plan in between fights. You don't normally hear about that. Most guys are like, I'm just going to go eat cheesecake every day because it's awesome.
Well, I think they're getting that from you. You know, you always.
I hope so. I hope they tag me when they do that.
Right? How far out did you stay from your fighting weight?
My body weight doesn't really ever change, you know, like, people ask me about, like, what diet do you follow? A guy asked me that today on my social media. I said, I follow the life diet. I eat what I want to do to live, you know, like, I want to fuel my body for my workouts. I want to recover from workout to workout, and I want to be healthy in between, you know, so, you know, keeping my weight in a reasonable range, which I usually say is about 10% of the weight class, like, so if you're a 140 pounder, the max you'd want to go is to 154 because that'd be 10% of that.
Makes sense.
See, Chris, I love you and all, but see, at that point, that's where I would have to fire you, is in between fights. All right, Chris, go home for 8 weeks. All right.
What's your take on cheat meals for athletes when they do these cheat meals once every 2 weeks or things like that?
So the thing about cheat meals is I don't like the term. I'm not saying like you shouldn't enjoy yourself or indulge.
A refeed? You call it a refeed?
Yeah, or whatever. I don't need to name it. Just, you know, if I feel like having a hamburger, I eat a goddamn hamburger. You know, like, it's like you should be able to do that.
Fair enough.
You know, because when you say something like a cheat meal or a cheat day, you're empowering that word and you're empowering that meal. It becomes something that becomes compulsive, something you're thinking about, being obsessive about. Way easier to go overboard when that happens.
Yeah, gotcha. I mean, yeah. And
that's been the problem the entire time.
That's the problem. We call it cheat meal, and then we get all then we get all guilty afterward. Me and him feel guilty. Yeah. We're like, we're gonna go to the hotel gym.
Yeah. James, pick a good hotel that has a nice little spa there.
Are you going to the fight next week, Chris?
The Lomachenko Linares fight.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
you guys going to be there?
Oh, yeah, we're going to be there. We hope to catch up with you there, meet up with you.
Absolutely.
It'd be great.
No doubt.
Yeah, you know what, Chris? You could save this number. This is my phone number. So just keep that and shoot me a text, or I'll send you a text later on, too. So that way, when we get out there, you know, I have it and I'll shoot you a message.
Sounds good. Oh, Kelly, I wanted to tell you. So my buddy, who's my barber, his dad used to cut your hair.
Oh, yeah?
Bob Leonelli, yeah.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah, Bob. Actually, he just came back, too. He's back in town doing hair again. I just ain't got no more hair for him to cut. But,
yeah, well, you don't really need that anymore. But
holy shit, wow, what a small world. Yep.
Crazy, right? I told him, I said that I was going to, he's from Youngstown, my friend, and he's cutting my hair, and I'm telling him, I'm going to be on Kelly's podcast today. He's like, oh, shit. He's like, you get the opportunity. Tell him, you know, my dad just cut his hair. Mention it.
Yeah,
like,
Bob.
Wow.
Bob the Barber. Yep.
Bob the Barber, exactly. Bob's Barbershop.
The thing is, he didn't do much work because you didn't have a lot of hair.
Yeah, I did. I used to.
At one point, you did.
Yeah, I did. Then I hit puberty and I lost it.
He looked like St. Francis of Assisi.
Some of those ESPN fights you had hair. I remember watching those.
Yeah, the early days.
Yeah, that little bit of. Yeah,
I did.
I do. I remember him.
Well, hey, Chris, man, we definitely appreciate having you on. It was an honor, and we would love to have you on again.
Anytime you want.
Yep.
Anytime, guys. I'm in. Even if you want to talk about boxing, I love that too.
Hey, you could be the third host if you want. You could even have my position because you're better at this than I am.
Yeah.
I want to came to Youngstown. Give me an excuse. I'll take a ride out there.
Look, you need to try to get yourself a job commentating.
Yeah.
Get some of these other guys off.
I actually, you know, I've done a few gigs. I actually done it with some kickboxing stuff, but nothing too major with boxing. You know, here and there, but
yeah.
There's always time for that.
And you know what? You're more than welcome to always come to Youngstown. We will take you. We'll show you the town. It takes us 10 minutes, but we'll show you the town.
We'll take you to some good pizza joints and burger joints.
I like to eat, guys. Don't let my diet or my abs fool you. I like to eat.
We'll get you a couple cheat meals. All right, Chris. Hey, thanks, man. We truly appreciate it.
Hey, we'd love to see you next week. Thank you for everything, Chris. It's an honor having you.
Absolutely, my pleasure, guys. Thank you so much. Your show is awesome. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Sweet, man. Thanks.
All right, take care.
Yep.
Save that dude's number.
Fuck yeah, that was a
that's
treat.
Chris Algieri, guys. One of the nice guys in the sport. I think one of the smartest fighters I've ever talked to.
See, the only problem would be being around him too much is like I'd be air fucking him over and over.
Oh yeah,
like,
about nutrition.
That's something that I'm really into.
Like this. Hey Chris, you think it'd be okay if I ate them sweet potatoes right now?
Yeah, but you know, and again for the sport, it's just what he's doing for it. That things like that is what helps the sport.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that because he was on the show. I'm saying it because I said it before he even came on. Like being a part, there's a guy that truly cares about a fighter because he's been through it, he's done it, he knows. And the benefits that people would have bringing them into a training camp. I wasn't joking when I said, hey, my dad did a great job for me. And I was always, and I had a lot of energy. I threw a lot of punches for being my height and making weight. And then it got to a point, my dad was not a professional nutritionist. And it got to a point in 2010 where the body had to go up. But I think having somebody like Chris at that point would have, That's what would have helped.
But you know the thing about you say your dad not a professional shit. He is, because nobody knows your body better than your own father. Do you know what I mean? He watched you grow up. He knew what you needed. So
every training camp, like Chris is with his guys.
Exactly. And he watched you closer than anybody else in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
you came from his ball sack. He knows you better than anybody. Let's be honest. Let's call it a spade over here, Kelly. You came from the ball sack. You don't want to think about your dad's ball sack, but that's where you came from, Kelly.
Well, that's a given.
There was a couple glasses of wine.
I'm better. I'm better off knowing that because I always thought I was hatched.
Well, you might have. Like a gator, like a fucking gator.
No, but going back.
Hey, did you hear they found a gator in Buckeye Lake in Ohio?
No,
what the fuck? Somebody brought a gator and left free.
It's
Why
not
would you?
Fucking hard. I mean, you get a fucking alligator and throw it in the lake.
Yeah, and and hey guys, I'm sorry we couldn't get to everybody's questions, but it's hard to get to him while he's talking. But what I can, we have Dante Craig on, 2000 Olympian, which is an amazing thing. He's such a great fighter and great guy. So.
Jeez. Hi, Amy Green. You're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez. Can I take your order?
What's going on?
Oh. Nothing. We were just talking to Chris, and we decided to have you on to hear about your adventures with
what happened in Vegas?
With Terry. What goes on in Vegas definitely doesn't stay in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you want to know?
Did you guys hoe around?
How many?
With who?
I don't know. You tell us. It's your story.
How many orifices on your body were penetrated at one time?
It was nothing like that. It was a totally educational field trip. We finished our event Thursday on corporate fight night. We flew out Friday morning at 9:40. We were in Vegas by 10 after 11 that time, and we had the pleasure of taking a group of her fighters that have never been to Vegas before.
Simon said that you're Brandon's mom from Beverly Hills 90210.
Well, yeah.
But what we really want to ask you, by the way, people who don't know, Amy Green is our publicist. She's the greatest publicist on the planet, except for when we're mad at her, and then she's not. But she's normally really good at what she does, and we
and
love her.
Amy, I always say you are.
Yeah, we do.
I don't care what James says about you. I do.
But
well, thank you.
Let me ask you this, Amy. What do you think about Lomachenko Linares?
I agree with you, and I'm not just saying that because you're the boss. I think it's going to be exactly like you say. I think it's going to take Lomachenko about 4 rounds or more to finally get in his groove. It's not going to be as easy as everybody says, and he's going to get touched up a bit.
I think it's time to go. Who'd you say was the fucking boss?
I am too, Mama.
I know, but she just singled you out.
No, but she's single because you weren't talking. You weren't asking the question.
Put them in their place, Amy. Tell them to fuck off.
Tell them to fuck off, Amy.
Justin will be flying to Vegas.
Also, Amy,
with you.
I have a question about your job.
Justin's probably like, good, I'm fucking done with this job. Get me out of here.
What's the question?
You have the chance to work with a lot of high-end, high-profile clients, and you have worked with many high-profile clients, higher profile than Kelly. What are some of the stipulations that you use? Like, because I know you don't pick everybody up who wants to work with you. How do you choose who you're working with and who you don't?
You have to like each other.
Yeah.
You have to have good communication, and you have to be able to work well in every aspect of what you're trying to do, or you're going to be wasting your time. You can't have a lot of conflict. You can't have bad communication. I mean, you have to be. Everything just has to click, and it just sounds stupid, but it has to click and flow. And
I'm glad she said that because I missed her phone call for 3 days.
Yeah, I did.
I finally got back to her.
Yeah, well, it happens. You miss.
But that's very rare. What Amy's saying, but we do communicate.
Yeah,
for the most part.
I communicate. We communicate too. We mostly daily. We communicate. But where do you, let me ask you this. This is important because you're really highly involved with women's boxing, like Simon was talking about. Where do you see women's boxing evolving to?
I see it evolving on a higher plane than a lot of people that we know think it will. You know, I saw a lot of gentlemen over the weekend that were really, really making disrespectful remarks about the Kelly Reese and Cecilia Brækhus fight. And it's really uncalled for because since Terry was fighting and since those days, everything has evolved. The depth of competition is better, and that's because of the amateur programs and everything else. But as long as the good amateur programs hold up, you're going to continue to see better and better professionals. It's just going to take staying consistent and keeping good levels of fights. I mean, you're not always going to have everyone be perfect. It's not always going to be the most technical. Not everybody's going to be a Katie Taylor or, you know, somebody as highly skilled as that. But you have to have a combination of things to make it work, and one of those is consistency.
Amy, I was just talking, actually, a girl here at the gym today, a young girl, she's an amateur fighter, and we were talking, and she didn't get to see the fight, and she follows boxing here and there, but I thought they both looked good. I thought for HBO, I mean, it wasn't that bad of a fight for a female. Oh, well, I mean, personally.
I mean, these are two people at the very top of their game. Yeah, Brækhus got caught with a shot she didn't see.
Yeah, but for a woman fight?
For a woman fight?
I thought that was pretty good, man.
But these are not your little minimum weight girls like Terry was. These are girls
but anyways,
with a little bit of size, and they've got strength, and they've got...
I will say
but other words, Debbie Downer, I'm not done. So, fucking... But it was also on HBO opening up for Triple G. That's the start, though, to start getting women boxing back in the public eye.
I will say this, though. Reese looked about as much Native American as Chris Rock did.
I concur with you.
She did not Native American.
Having worked for a Native American fighter for a number of years, I didn't know she was a Native American. But then, you know, that doesn't mean that the only Indians that are around are from here where I'm from in the Southwest either.
No, I know, but, you know, hey... But I just thought, hey, you know, she's not very Native American looking.
Amy, could we get an Indian reservation here in Youngstown?
Casino money.
Could you get one?
Yeah, you think we could pull that off? Maybe if I talk to Bill Monroe or somebody?
Does Bill Monroe even talk to you anymore?
Yes. He
just
told me elk jerky.
I mean, if Pavlik wants it, Pavlik gets it. I mean, you know.
Bill drove me crazy on that hanging from...
I'm going to put it right downtown where the sheriff's office
hanging
is.
from Riddick Bowe's nuts every fucking day. I couldn't deal with that shit, man.
Oh, he's cool.
I know, but I just couldn't handle the Riddick Bowe shit.
And if he could get a reservation here...
I think you have to be native to this area.
I'm sworn in.
I know you are part of it. You're an honorary citizen of the Apaches or something.
The
Slapaho tribe.
Salish. I'm a Salish brother.
Salish.
So
the Slapaho tribe? Is that what it was?
Yeah, Miguel Salazar said hi, cutie, to you.
I got out of the Slapaho.
Yeah, the Slapaho tribe from Youngstown.
Well, you know, I've got a friend that lives in a suburb called Pitchabody Flat, so, you know.
But, Amy,
Titty bukkake.
We need two things from you on this episode, or in Dallas. We need two things from you. I want to share my bed with Terry. Terry has to share the room with me. And bring your friend Rachel.
She has to.
She's really hot.
Rachel from
what's your
LA?
No,
from Friends.
No, what was the girl's name you brought with you to Vegas?
Ashley.
Ashley, that's it. Bring Ashley.
I will see if I can work that out. We talked about it a few minutes ago.
It's in the contract.
In fact, she heard the very first part of the show.
Oh, good. Well, tell her she's finer on frog hair, split 3 ways.
I'll pass that along.
You know it.
She's a very she's only 25. She survived Atlanta very well.
She's
I ain't gonna be allowed to go to Dallas now.
You didn't say it. I did. He said he's not gonna be allowed to go to Dallas. Kelly did. Kelly didn't say it. I did. I'm the nasty ass here, not Kelly. 25.
She's a 25-year-old young lady. Yes.
Well, there ain't no grass on the field. Flip her over, play in the mud.
Oh my God.
She has a boyfriend, doesn't she?
Yes, his name is John. I met him today. He's lovely.
Just because soccer has a goalie, don't mean you can't score.
Well, you might learn a lot about country girls when you meet Ashley.
I don't give a shit. I'll be a cowboy if that's what she wants. They'll call me Bucky Silverstein. Right. You can call me Bucky.
Yeah, she's 25. She's 25 years old. I mean, that's.
I come from a cattle rancher father. I'm country as it gets. Los Angeles country.
Jethro.
Hey, Bucky Silverstein, don't forget it. I'm a Jewish cowboy that only likes nymphomaniacs.
Oh, I think Alicia Taylor is getting jealous.
What?
She's looking into her schedule as we speak.
Alicia will ruin the time.
I did have the pleasure of speaking with Stacy today, and she's going to be a great help.
Who that?
Stacy Bechtel is in Dallas. She's helping us out. She's a big friend of Christine's and her business partner.
Cool.
I told you. But I think Stacy is awesome as a organizer. You know what I mean?
Very much.
And I do. I think so. But we love you and we appreciate you and everything you do for us on the show.
True that.
Oh, I enjoy you guys tremendously as well.
And we know we know other than Terry, we're your second favorite client.
Correct.
We're not blind to the fact that
we don't know why she's your number one client.
I don't fucking know either, but whatever.
She got 4 fighters.
What did you say, Kelly?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
We're hating silently.
Talking amongst ourselves.
The funniest thing in the world in Atlanta was watching, 103 pounds of Terry Moss trying to slap the dinner check out of your hand, Kelly. She's hanging on your arm and she's just swaying in the breeze because she's so little and you're a giant compared to her.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
I'm gonna show her how tiny she is too when we get to Dallas.
I'm sure she's had plenty of fighters up in her, bro.
This weekend in Vegas
you might want to put your foot in there.
and the boys was amazing. And she took Deontay Brown, her 2-0 guy there, so he could do some running and get some sparring in a good gym in Vegas. And it turned out to be a great experience for him too.
Yeah, well, Terry, for you guys that don't know, we're talking about Terry Moss, former women's champion, and what an amazing, amazing talent she was and great fighter. And she's just all around great person with a great heart. She knows that I'm just joking with her. She has no interest in me. I'm a fat old guy, so Terry has no interest in me. But I like to joke around with Terry because she's a good sport. I would joke around more with Amy, but the problem is Tim is a killer I'm afraid of. So I don't want to fuck around with Tim, you know what I mean?
And when it came to everybody's attention on the punchline that I was off the grid in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I just got my permit.
He is actually the only person that knew that I was with a former client and his girlfriend. So everybody else could worry and wonder, but Big Daddy knew where I was.
Oh yeah, we know that. But like I said, we look forward to talking to you tonight and finding how the show went. And
we only got 7 minutes left too, Amy, so we got to get off.
All right.
Thank
you.
Love
you guys in return. I've got to go be a domestic goddess now, and we'll get everything else taken care of for June 16th.
Hey, book that Matt Brown in. Get those flights. Have your friend.
Working on it.
And book our flight for Dallas, too.
Yes.
I'm going to get Heidi Hudson, Adventure Travel, Lawton, Oklahoma. She's your go-to girl.
Well, tell her to give us a discount last time. She raped us last time.
Yeah.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, no, she didn't. But
It was like getting a prostate exam from Captain Hook.
tell her to get us a military discount.
I'll tell her that you have one.
They got military discounts. We
Oh
need to
yeah,
use that shit.
yeah. I served 1 year.
Well, I should get the AARP discount if anything.
Amy, this is not about you.
You live 3 hours away.
Are you fucking hosting a seminar? Are you going up in the ring throwing punches?
No, but I'm putting my other client up in there to work with you, and there
Who's
should be
working with
hazard
me?
pay when she goes flying, or if she hurts you.
I'm not sparring nobody. Who's ever setting us up better go back and fucking redo it. I don't need to go to no seminar.
You spar me,
I'm just
fool.
making sure everybody shows up.
No. Yeah, but it's great having you on, and we hope to talk to you soon. We're gonna hit this commentary.
Okay, talk to you later.
All right.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Adios.
All right, guys. I'm sorry we didn't get to everybody's questions, but hey, we got questions right now for the last 7 minutes. If you guys want to do it, let's get to it, man. I'm sorry we had a lot of guests today, but we will hit you next week with all your questions.
That's for true.
So go ahead and what do you guys want to get on now? Let's go back to some of these commentate. What'd you think about Sullivan and Abreu fight?
Oh. Fucking, it's like they grabbed that dude and said, hey, you gonna fight next week? Which I think he did come in on short notice.
And
really
he said,
short
hey,
notice.
we know you don't have a trainer, so we're just gonna stick you with Roger.
But the reason why I'm saying Sullivan been around now long enough and is a good fighter, I think.
Do you think so?
I think he's pretty good. I think he's gonna be a hard guy to beat. I think you're gonna have to be in shape. I mean, he's in good shape. He's strong.
He's strong.
But it was kind of like Abreu came in. Like when you get an opponent like that, even in this last minute, it's usually somebody who's going to, especially TV.
He didn't want to be there.
Yeah, but he didn't. I mean, when he was tired in only 4 rounds, like I'm thinking, like, all right, when you get to 9-10, he's going to get tired. At that level, I'm saying, early in your career, yeah, you get fucking guys that come in like that. They still got one boxing boot on and one work boot on.
Yeah. Well, I want to give a shout out to Roger. I know we love Roger and his family and everything. I know that. But he that was fucking brave of him to stop that fight like that and not let him take any more punishment. What'd you think?
No, that was very good, but he got praise from
Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good move.
I think that was for a trainer that's finally getting his first main, and he make that decision because a lot of them, they want to impress.
That looks big too.
A lot of the trainers, they want to impress. They want to push their guy to look good.
Yeah.
But I think Roger put his fighter first, and I think that was huge.
That was really, and like again, that did him better doing that than just because I'm losing a fight. David Ball, KP, did Don King make a run at you? No, but I tell you who did was Lou Duva. And there was a couple other promoters, but Duva literally came to my house.
Amanda Steven says, thank you, Kelly.
No problem, Amanda.
She said, yep, okay.
Anytime.
Anytime, and tell Nate we said hi. Nate's a big fan. Her son, Nate.
Oh, yeah, the little man.
Little man. You got to talk to him on Friday.
Yes, I did.
And, no, and you know what? I don't have a problem with the girls boxing at all. That's just not my thing. I just didn't think the fight was good. I did, and the thing was this. I think either Carice was better than advertised, or Breckhouse, how do you say her name? It wasn't as good as advertised. It had to be one of the two.
Breckhouse.
She got rocked.
Yeah, I think that came down to maybe not as good as she may not have a good chin. See, I disagree. I thought that was a good for women's boxing. I thought that was a really good fight. I thought it was entertaining and it was competitive.
Yeah.
And her getting rocked like that twice really got you on, especially at the end of the fight, end of the round. I heard somebody say, well, if it was a 3-minute, that could have been different. No, listen, women's boxing the round's been that way, and they knew going in. So didn't make no difference in that fight.
I think the thing, too, on that is in the 90s, women's boxing was better than it is now.
Well, yeah, because there's not really women's boxing. It's kind of for naught.
Let me tell you what. If you put Clarissa Shields in there with Ann Wolfe would have been arrested for fucking murder.
I knew you were going to throw that. That's why I asked you. And I was talking to my brother Ricky, and I couldn't remember Clarissa Shields.
I'm not saying anything wrong about Clarissa. She's a good fighter. I'm just saying a woman like Ann Wolfe did not give a fuck if you lived or died. She was the woman. I agree. She was a woman Ivan Drago, wasn't she?
You even go back to your Chrissy Martins. I mean, Chrissy Martin came to fuck if she threw that left hook to take your brain out the side of your ear.
Mia St. John, they didn't give a fuck.
Yes.
Women's boxing hit their peak in the 90s. Money-wise, it's better now. But
no problem, man. And thank you, Nate. We thank you. You ain't got to thank us, buddy.
Thank you, Nate. It was nice seeing you this weekend, too. The girl fight was the best fight of the weekend. You would say that, Julian.
I could carry Julian. Don't listen to him. He woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning, but I agree with you.
I didn't say it wasn't bad.
James is fussy today.
I just said the fight wasn't that good. I didn't think I think somebody was overrated or somebody was better than they thought. I don't know. Shit. But what I did think was, I just think that...
I think Rockhurst needed a hug after, though.
Oh, my God. I just think Reese doesn't look Native American.
Let's give her that fucking...
Ancestry.com?
Yeah.
They said her... I think Dave Chappelle looked more Native American in one of his skits. Oh, I love this. Simon said the other fight going on is Saddam Ali and Jamie Munguia. All they had this coming out party. I love both fighters. I'm not going to lie. Saddam Ali is a member of the show too now. But Jamie is an animal. Jamie Munguia is a monster.
Yeah.
He's young.
And I wasn't really that impressed
monster.
with Saddam Ali. I mean, beating Cotto was not...
But the experience he gained is huge fighting a guy like Cotto. It really is. Either win or lose, the experience you get from fighting a world-class guy.
Yeah. I agree with that part. But
tell me if you agree with this. Some of the guys who fought you and lost to you, did that make them better fighters? I think a lot of them made them more experienced.
Never really, they were done.
No, but I mean the guys that continue to fight. You know what I mean? They go on. I think a lot of them became better fighters after losing to you. They learned a lot more. You get a lot of introspection time on your back. You know what I mean? You get a lot of time to think about your career when you're laying there with your eyes shut.
Should have fucking applied at that BFI company.
I should have went to Bose. I could be making headphones right now, cocksucker. Layla McCarter is a female fighter that should be getting... You know what, Simon? I agree. But I'm a huge Katie Taylor fan. I think Katie Taylor is the class of the women's boxing right now. I think she's the most talented. I really do. And what do we got for next week? We don't have any guest, and we're going to leave it that way next week, right?
Yeah.
It's all...
Team Punchline. No guest next week.
We are going to leave it just for you guys to listen to the show and give us what you think and what we need. So questions.
We get the great guests, and Simon always gets us great guests, and Amy here and there, and you. But next week is...
all about you guys.
All right, well, Simon got a question. Kelly, who was the fighter, if anybody, that you beat and thought was going to be a future champ himself? Ooh.
Bronco McCart.
No.
Well, he was a champ already.
You know, to be honest, in my career, I don't think many. I mean, a lot of guys... I mean, I'm not going to lie. Early on, I fought guys that were tough.
What about Miranda?
Well, I thought for sure Miranda would be. That was a good one. You know, and I'm not just saying this, but Rubio, because even before I fought Rubio,
too, didn't he?
Yeah, and he did. Even before I fought him, he had some good fights, and I remember the one bad fight he had early in his career against Kofi Jantua, where he got knocked out in the first round. But it wasn't so much that Kofi Jantua was a better fighter than him. It was just a punch, and Kofi Jantua could hit.
Yeah,
I sparred him.
Didn't we see him at one of the fights? Jantua, remember? I think so.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
But guys like that, you know, I would say definitely Miranda. I didn't really think. Oh, you know who I thought? Another good fighter, tough. And I thought the only reason why he would have been a world champ wasn't on skill level alone, but his conditioning and his power was Feluncio Zuniga.
Oh, wow.
And he could hit. But I just think he got his style. He just took too many shots. Right before me and after me.
Yeah, and what'd you think about the Olympian? The Olympian you fought, the one that you knocked out, and you both fell over. The referee went to stop it, and you both kind of fell over.
Grady Brewer?
No. Like Nicaraguan or Argentina guy. You know what I'm talking about. One of your bigger fights. Kid was wearing yellow gold trunks. You knocked him out while he was on his way down. You hit him again on the way down.
I was wearing those gold trunks.
No, you were wearing like yellow. You know what I'm talking about. Fuck. My mind just slipped it completely. You hit
Dorian
him.
Beaupierre?
No, you hit him. You hit him, and he was Olympian. You hit him and he went forward, and you hit him again on the way, and then the referee kind of stopped it. You fell and he fell. Remember the referee fell over on top of him? Help me out, guys. Anybody know?
Oh, Zartucci.
He was
the
an
Mexican,
Olympian.
Yeah, Mexican Olympian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you think he was going to
I didn't know why the referee pushed me out of the way.
he pushed him, but the referee fell on top of him.
Yeah. I thought he was. He had 2 big fights with Zuniga.
Yeah.
Wars. They were great fights. I watched those all the time because that's how I got ready for both of them.
It's true. I mean, so we were on this Ryan Garcia thing. We should spend a couple more minutes on it before the call. I personally think.
Who's calling?
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to go a minute on that because we didn't finish it, but we can get to it next week if you want. But I just think that
No, we tap on Garcia real quick.
people are saying give the kid a break. That he's only 19. Let me tell you what. When Oscar turned pro at 20 and he had 14 pro fights, he didn't make the same mistakes as this kid did. People are saying, well, he needs time to develop. At 230 amateur fights and being 14-0, those are simple things that you should develop. And I think these are the same people that were worshiping this kid a few weeks ago are making excuses for him now. Some of these things you need to develop, but for the most part, this is bad habits that he's got into and that there's no excuse for.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm going to tap right on it, but Daniel Martinez says, Roy Jones Jr. needs to stop comparing every single fight to his own. I agree. And listen, Roy, I love you, dude, but you're not the victim. You were given a lot of opportunities because you're one of the great, and everybody in the sport liked you, and you were going to get decisions because you brought money to the sport.
Well, he's leading us off Facebook now, Kelly. Fuck.
No, I'm being serious.
I know.
I mean, so... Yeah, and I'm giving him a lot of compliments.
I know.
So with that being said, yeah, and I do agree that it was wrong for him to get disqualified in that.
Why? He looked around. He stopped, looked around, and then threw a punch.
Well, I see that part I don't remember.
You were a little guy.
Yeah,
you were a little.
But now, Triple G's. There was nothing. I mean, first of all, the referee should have been in closer.
Yeah.
The first mistake of that, no matter if you hit him on the ground or not. The referee should have been better there and quicker to get to that. As a good referee, you spot that. Yeah. Secondly, the guy, it was all a matter of a split second. And you're being a pro fighter in a big fight like that, an opportunity to knock somebody out, you're going to take it. It was not that bad. And no, he should not have been disqualified for that.
Oh, no. And you know what? When you have a punch thrown midway through the fight, you can't stop that fucker. That's like shooting a gun and trying to stop the bull. Get out and try to stop the bull. It's over.
Yeah, like
get that. I'm sorry. That punch is thrown.
But getting back to Ryan Garcia, I agree with you, and on a little bit, I disagree with you. Okay. And what I mean by that is, he's not De La Hoya.
No.
I'm not saying that he's not going to be a world champ or that he may do better in his career as De La Hoya, but different people. I think that he is young, and I think that these mistakes he's making are very fixable and that he can fix them, especially after this where he is taking a pounding on a lot of forums and groups, and I think he will see that. Even if there's a lot of good ones and he's friends with them, but he's going to see the bad ones. I think he can fix that.
I agree. Everything he can be fixed.
I think he needs to change just a couple things, though. I think that he needs to change a little bit of the attitude before a fight.
The dancing with the dancing before the fight.
Yeah, and I understand. And if that's what really gets him going, then stick to it. But if it's not really what gets him going and it's a fashion statement or whatever it is, then leave that. You could lose some fans on that.
I think it's
especially in the Mexican community. I think.
Oh well, yeah. I think it's a generation. I really do. I think these generation of young fighters, they got heavy, thick Twitter fingers. They got thick Twitter fingers.
That's the next one I was getting to. I agree with you with the Twitter thing. Leave that alone. Leave calling these people out. Leave that up to your promoters. Other than that, I think that there are a lot of his bad habits that he has right now.
Yeah.
Could be fixed and they could be ironed out, and I think he could be on his way to winning multiple world titles.
But my thing is, a lot of those habits he has should have been habits that he don't have, because those are habits that you get rid of in your amateur career and early in your pro career. I mean,
but you always could pick up other. I mean, but
bad
you pick
habits
up too.
make more
Again,
bad habits.
that goes back to the fact of saying like Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. They go to the driving range and their coaches with them due to the fact that they can't see what bad habits they're doing or picking up, and it's really easy. So they got somebody there filming it or telling them what they're doing wrong. And the same goes for boxing. Yes, maybe in training camp it should have been picked up and caught earlier. I can't agree with you on that. But who knows?
But keeping your chin down and punching from your chest is a glaring thing.
Chin should always stay
or
down.
crossing your feet laterally. That's a glaring problem. That's not something that you just say, "Oh, that's a bad habit." No, that's something glaring.
From the middle of my career to the end, I don't think you can find a picture. Fuck, I got dropped and my chin was on my neck, or you know what I mean, like it's
but
on my chest.
I agree, but that leads it to being dropped even more. You gave your chin up, it's over.
Yeah, it is. But mine was equilibrium.
If your chin was sit up in the air, you would have been hurt a lot worse.
Yeah, well, it was equilibrium, so it wouldn't have had anything.
I think.
But yeah, no, you're 100% right.
Damon says, "I think James is wrong about brackets. I thought it was really good match." I don't give a fuck what you think, Damon.
Nobody asked you.
Fuck
no,
you.
Damon, I said the same
We're
thing.
taking the ticket back. Fuck him. No, but I agree with Damon. He's gonna get knocked out. And the shit, you're right. The shit about calling out Mikey and calling out Tank. Tank would have skull fucked him that night.
But we're saying like if he don't fix it, I think he will fix that. If he don't,
it's a change.
If he don't, then he's gonna get knocked out.
But if you listen to his corner, they were saying you're doing great. Everything you're doing is great. To me, that's a glaring problem. They're afraid to tell him the truth.
Maybe he needs to go back and sit down and go over that. Maybe, and I'm not arguing that point either.
No, I'm saying, but either they're unaware of the problem or they're afraid to tell him the truth.
You definitely can't. The higher you go up that ladder, you definitely can't have that habit.
No, they're afraid to tell him the truth. That's the thing. And that's they're either they don't know what's going on, or they're afraid to tell him the truth. We had the Golovkin fight, and there's not much to talk about on that. Golovkin did what Golovkin does. Yeah, I think Golovkin showed a little bit of age. What do you think?
I thought so, and I'm not being mean, guys. Listen, I'm not being that fucking guy
no.
That is coming down.
Because you like Golovkin.
I do, but yeah, I know he did what he was supposed to do. He just didn't look
right.
Yeah,
he got hit a lot, and if the guy could punch, he would have hurt him. If that was,
and I know the guys are different and they're awkward and they throw punches from different angles, but.
And then I heard the stupid shit going on. Oh, well, that Golovkin would have knocked out Canelo. Absolutely fucking not. He wouldn't have. He would have knocked Canelo. If you were going to knock Canelo out last year, you ain't going to knock him out a year older.
They're definitely looking like that. Damon said no pit bulls
for either of you. The pit bull fight.
You see that when I put up that picture of the guy holding the bucket? That was funny as shit, dude. I was shitting and farting myself at my son's game when I found that.
We got that pit bull boxing match coming, and that's gonna be awesome. What gloves are you using for that?
That's exactly what I'm gonna do with that motherfucker. I'm gonna show him straight up that I rule the roost.
Reyes gloves?
Yeah.
Reyes or.
Yeah, but I am going to get Antonio Margarita's trainer to wrap me though, because it's only fair. It's only
you need the blocks.
It's a fucking pit bull.
The blocks, bro.
Yeah.
You want me to wrap them? You want to wrap your hands? I can wrap them in concrete slabs.
I definitely think so.
You know I wrap hands good. You saw me do it. How many hands did I wrap that fucking night?
A whole shitload.
Bro, my back hurt so bad. My hands were swollen. I think I wrapped like 30 guys' hands in one night, one after the other.
Veins was bigger than G. He looks unfocused. But the fucking guy was like actually absolutely disappeared from boxing though. I mean,
exactly. And also,
I don't give a fuck if he was 40 pounds heavier.
Yeah. People are saying, and the argument was Triple G is a big middleweight. Well, no, he fucking isn't a big middleweight. He's an average middleweight, maybe a little small. And, Triple G is 5'10". My ass, he's 5'10".
I love the 5'10".
That motherfucker's not 5'10".
Let's see him be confident and cocky with my punches coming at his ass.
Oh, that'd been great. What if they offered you? What if they said, "Hey, Kelly, you guys are a year older." They said, "Kelly, we'll give you."
I may have to just to see how he. Not saying that I would beat him at this stage, but just to see how he would take.
We'll give you $11 million like Triple G at 168 or 75. You'd have to cut your leg off.
Yeah. I'm just curious to see how you would take it.
Could I?
If you would fight the same way.
Could I carry the bucket in the corner? You think would I be allowed to do that?
Yeah.
Who would you? Oh, let me ask you this: who would your camp be? Who would you hire for your corner? Let's really go over this.
Me?
Well, you have to be there, you dick.
Cut man would be Justin. You'd be. Lead corner.
Lead.
Yeah, trainer. Roger would be the strength and conditioning coach.
What about Robert? Remember Garcia back?
No, Robert's too good of a trainer.
You don't want that good, right?
Yeah, not that good, man. It was just
How do you
comeback,
fucking
man.
wait a minute? You tell me he's too good. I'm a shit trainer, so you can bring me in.
No,
What the fuck, man?
you're inexperienced.
What? No, I'm not inexperienced.
No, a little bit
How
at that
am I
level.
inexperienced?
I can't tell you last time I seen you fucking in somebody's corner for a world title fight.
It's been a while.
God, you touchy bastard.
It's been a
I'm
while.
not saying you're a bad trainer.
No, absolutely. Golovkin's not Sergio Small, but Sergio was a bigger guy than Golovkin still. Sergio was still a bigger guy.
Yeah, who else would be in my corner?
So
Robert, if you're listening, bro, it's nothing to do with not wanting you. I would train at his gym.
Yeah. I think having Roger in the corner would be good.
No, he's too strict.
What about me? What about Roger? What about Roger, me, and Rudy?
No, because Rudy's too fucking blunt and strict.
He has a cut man, dude. If you spring a leak, you're gonna want somebody who can fix that cut.
Not really. If I spring a leak, chances are I'm going to hope they stop the fucking fight soon. That's my out.
We know what Justin's gonna be doing. He's gonna be holding that damn camera.
Yeah, Justin will be cutting me fucking more.
You know what we'll do? We'll hire Miguel Salazar to take your picture.
By the time Justin got done working on me, you'll see ambulance pulling up to the corner post.
Nah, I don't know. I think you'd have a good corner. I think we do okay. I think you would give him everything, but I think you'd have to cut a leg off to make 68.
Yeah, nah, that's out of the question. This is just talk.
What about Usyk?
Gotta fuck him up.
At cruiserweight?
Body shot.
Yeah.
All day stoppage.
Delilah, you will be in the corner. I promise.
Joking. Who's the fucking around, man? I can't beat nobody right now, man. That's what I was gonna say about like Vance. That'd be like me. Listen, Honest. I know I was a I know I was a great fighter when I was fighting, but I'd be fucking absolutely like Honest coming in and beating Triple G. They shouldn't have brought him. They shouldn't have used him for that fight. It'd be like me saying right now I could go give a guy like Usyk a fucking good fight. No, I would get fucking knocked out. Would not be like
you would need it 6 months. You would need 6 months to get back to where you get that muscle memory back.
You give me fucking 10 months. My first fight back against him. Fuck no. I mean, it's a totally different thing. You know what I mean?
Other people's made comebacks, so
well, good for them.
Yeah. Well, you never know. But hey, good show today. And
yes, it was.
Next Tuesday, no guest, so we're gonna have a show all to everybody.
Yep.
7 o'clock next time too. Gonna try this time
exactly.
up one more time.
Yeah, well, get everybody on. Ask questions. There ain't no guests. We won't be keeping nobody on. And but today I was glad we had the guests that we had.
Yeah, I was too. I think it was a game changer.
Chris and Brandon, that was fucking awesome. And,
yeah.
And of course Amy calling in.
But I think we need to focus more time on on the people who watch the show. And
we had 2 weeks now back to back with guests.
Yep. And I think that we'll start focusing more time again. But we need to stop guests every once in a while.
Yeah,
but,
Scott, 7 Eastern.
Yep. And next week, this weekend we will be in New York City for Lomachenko Linares. We will be doing a pre-show.
Yes.
We're doing a pre-show, guys, on, Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday we'll be doing a pre-show early in the day. We don't have a time yet.
Or we could do it on our way to New York and you guys could watch that. Would you prefer that?
Well, I think we're going to have Rudy and everything. We could do a pre-show with everybody there.
Yeah, we do too, though.
And Chris will be there. We could do a pre-show with Chris.
I think maybe with Ricky in the car.
Yeah.
Justin, you're in, right?
Yeah. Pre-show.
Yeah, so I think that'd be funny.
I think so.
We'll see. That's not.
Yeah, but we will be.
We'll definitely have a pre-show.
We're gonna do a
probably
pre-show.
like Rudy and guys like that.
And we'll set up a show at the arena like we did last time, so you guys can see what's going on.
Virgil, thanks for tuning in too, bud. We missed you for a minute.
We do miss you. And I've said it before. Your son Virgil Ortiz Jr. is the best fighter right now. Prospect. I think he took over that mantle and I like Virgil because he don't talk shit. He just does business.
He goes
does
in,
his
he
business.
fights.
Fuck yeah.
We don't like Bobby Sanchez either.
Clam Chaz.
He's annoying.
Yeah, but Bobby loves the show, and we love Bobby.
I'm joking. I love Bobby.
But hey, guys, great participation tonight. Remember, we can't do the show without you. Please go ahead and tell them, Kelly.
Damon, I'll be there by noon.
Tell them what we need to do on YouTube. Tell them what they need to do.
Share, subscribe,
and like.
And share
with your friends. And everybody, because we need.
Yeah, come on, guys. I mean, I look at the thing. We got like a total of 14,000 people that it reaches. People, 1.4 thousand on certain shows that have already watched it. That right there was it. Just subscribe.
Subscribe it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it, but just subscribe still. You guys subscribe to some bullshit. I've seen them on cat shows, all kind of shit.
Yeah, or how to make fucking slime. And
how
shit
to make
like
slime,
that.
but you can't.
Come on.
Or what was the other one too? Making Play-Doh and fucking how to make the perfect houseplant soil.
Yeah.
Fuck.
How to order
a male bride from
Russia.
Russia.
Bride, yeah, from Russia.
Fuck. Well, I need to subscribe to
Mail ordered bride from Greece.
Thank you, Kenny. We appreciate it. And Damon, Frenzo's getting chopped.
Huh?
Oh, before we go on that, guys.
Here he is.
One little side bit before we get off here, because I know you're in a hurry.
Like, damn right.
The new Punchline page we have a new Punchline group, and it's only for select people on the show. If you want to be part of it, let us know. We will include you.
And them select people, don't come on there fucking throwing memes out there.
Well, we put memes too, but don't put some stupid ass shit, and don't insult.
Well, how could you do that then?
Well, because the memes we put on aren't fucking a woman's pussy being blown out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, none of that.
None of that. We have sponsors watching, and we have
DM me that.
Bad stuff. Yeah, DM that. But we need to, and if we're gonna, and this is a place for you guys to express your opinions and talk boxing. But don't get on there and start calling other people stupid asses, fucking idiots, fags, fat ass, whatever. Don't do that, because you're gone. I'm not, this is, if you guys want that kind of group, go to some of the other groups out there where they'll troll you, but this ain't this kind of group. We want to take this group to another level where it's real fans, real fighters, and they can really talk. This is the only place you're going to get to interject with guys like Kelly, Eric Morales.
Yeah, Eric Morales joined that.
Saddam Ali, fucking Dante Craig. These fucking world champions and contenders are here for you.
Trainers like Brandon
Krause. Mikey Garcia. These guys, you can reach out to them and actually talk to them. This is the only page you're going to be allowed to do that.
Yeah, if you want to get inside scoops and shit, you might get it on that too.
Because these fighters are actually on here. We have over 100 professional fighters on here. And a lot of them are world champion level fighters. And
Kenny Dutton, thank you. He said another great show, guys.
Oh, yeah. But we're going to have... Hey, look at mine. Look at my guns.
Yeah, Delilah.
Look at Delilah. Look at them. Look at those. Look at that.
Singing.
I've been building them. Look at that. Look at that.
Those look like mine when I'm not flexing.
You maluma. What? But no, hey guys, but no, we want this group to be special, and we want to be different than most groups. So you can interact with guys like Mikey, some of Lomachenko's camp, Linares' camp. You can interact with these guys and meet them and talk to them.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get that anywhere else. So if you like the show, subscribe, like it, and share it. And Tuesday at 7, we'll see you again, and we'll see you at our pre-show Saturday.
The show.
We're out.
Peace.